little people, people who seem to be insignificant, people who seem not to be leading lives where their lives are broadcast worldwide on national or international TV, etc. Many of those people seem to be more fulfilled spiritually, physically, just in their own homes, practicing the feeling that a Jew has at the Shabbos table, Friday night sitting down to their table with the 2 candles lit, and the person eating their piece of fish and their soup and their Shabbos food, and putting on their Shabbos clothing, that feeling is something that the President of the United States will never know, with all his chefs, with all his world-renowned chefs, with all the wealth and glory and fame, can never experience what the simplest Jew experiences in a Shabbos, in a Yom Tov, on a Purim, in walking in the street in Yerushalayim, in going to the Kotel Maravi, the spiritual high that a Jew experiences who believes in Hashem, a person who has faith in Hashem or faith in Tzaddikim. We come now to this final, we said the topic of discussion tonight is going to be the month of Elul. There are many people who at different points in their lives wake up and they realize, they admit, they feel that a certain portion of their life has gone by which they didn't really use properly. They didn't really behave properly. They didn't use the time properly. And they feel all kinds of levels of disappointment about it. The Torah teaches us that a Jew is obligated to avoid focusing on the past and even to avoid focusing on the future. The Gemara says one of the rabbis once met Moshiach and he asked him, "When are you coming? The $64 million, when are you coming?" And he said, "Today, Hayom." And he said, "Stop joking, I'm serious. I want to know, when are you coming?" He said, "I'm not joking. Hayom im bekolo tishmo." Today, if you will listen to Hashem, if you will listen to what your heart is telling you, and you'll do the right thing today, you will have done your part in bringing Moshiach today, in seeing to it that he can come today. And if he doesn't come today, you'll know that you're not the one that's holding him back. This message of Hayoim, today, focusing on today, the Satan, the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, tries to get us to think about yesterday and tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm ready to make all kinds of improvements tomorrow. I'm ready to make all kinds of changes tomorrow. Or, I'm ready to feel sorry and feel terrible about yesterday, Chas v'Shalom. The Torah emphasizes the Hayom in the Kolo Tishmo, that the message is today, number one. But 1 second, what about the loss? What about the negative balance that I have? We know that in a bank, a person can have zero balance, a person can have $1 billion, and today, unfortunately, we know there are many people who have negative balances. I owe 50,000, I owe $1 million, I owe 50 million. What does a person do in that situation? Can that be corrected? There's a very famous Mishnah in the Gemara. One of the most famous Gemaras in Shas is called the Gemara Ketubot, which deals with marriage, the topic of marriage. And the first Mishnah in Ketubot begins with the words Nosnim lebetula shneimosar chodesh. That during the time of the Gemara, when a woman who was never married before was going to get married, a betula, the custom was that they would give her 12 months to prepare herself, to prepare her trousseau, the clothing and other things that she needs to start a new home. One of the great rabbis, one of the great Hasidic masters, the Bnei Yisroel, writes that we know that each one of the 12 months of the year has a sign of the zodiac that corresponds to it. We know, for example, the month of Adar, people are used to getting their Shalachmonis and the Megillah on Purim, and people are used to seeing pictures with fish. fish in the different pictures. Mishenichnas Adar Marbin Besimcha, and they have fish in the picture representing the sign of the zodiac for the month of Adar. The month of Tishrei, which is Rosh Hashanah, Aseret Yimei Tshuva, Yom Kippur. It's the scales, the Moznaim, the scales representing the judgment. The month of Elul, the sign of the zodiac for Elul is Bitulah, the maiden. The Mishnah says, this rabbi explains, that this final month of the year, Elul, is the last month of the year, the 12th month of the year, before Rosh Hashanah. If a Jew is about to enter into Elul, and the Jew says, wow, where did it go? Where did the year go? It's just yesterday. It feels like yesterday when I was at Rosh Hashanah, or I was at Yom Kippur, and I said, Hashem, I'm ready to make a new beginning. This year I'm going to be better. This year I'm going to correct different things, etc. And the 11 months whizzed by, and now I'm standing at Rosh Chodesh Elul. What do I do? The Mishnah says, Noisnim lebesula shnei mosar chodesh. Hashem gives this month of Elul, this final month, the power of 12 months. If a Jew wakes up today and says, I made a mistake, I fell asleep, I missed the boat, and a Jew says, is it all over? Can I still? The Torah emphasizes you definitely can. As long as a person is still breathing, it's never ever too late. A person has the ability in this month of Elul. This is why among the Sfaradim, the custom is that they get up earlier during the month of Elul than throughout the entire year. They say Slichos from Rosh Chodesh Elul. A person would say, what do you mean? If this is such a good thing, why aren't you doing it all year round? The answer is because we're human beings, and most human beings cannot be at their best all year round. We try, we want to, but even if a person can't, a person still has the privilege on the final day, the last month of the year. That's the most important one. The last day of the year, the final day of the year, Erev Rosh Hashanah. Erev Rosh Hashanah is the final day, the last day of the year. The Shulchan Aruch, the custom is the slichas, the prayer is much longer on Erev Rosh Hashanah than it is other times, and the Shulchan Aruch reveals another secret, that there's a custom among Jews on Erev Rosh Hashanah, the final day of the year, the last chance to get the maximum help that you can. There's a custom to visit Kivrei Tzadikim, to go to the kever of a tzaddik, if possible. If a person doesn't have that opportunity, to go even to Kivrei Avos, to the kever of parents, and to ask Hashem to help us in the merit of these great tzaddikim. We find throughout the Torah, we find Moshe Rabbeinu, the leader of the entire Jewish people, the one about whom Hashem said, B'chol Beiti Ne'eman Hu. He is my most loyal, devoted, trustworthy servant. When Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to plead with Hashem to forgive the Jewish people for the Egel, the Torah says he prayed so hard. It doesn't say Vayitpalel Moshe, it says Vayechal Moshe. He got sick. He prayed with such intensity to the point where he got sick. People think there are people who come into shul and they cross their legs and they sit back. Some of the shuls, unfortunately, the seats cater to that, theater type seats, where a person thinks that they're coming to shul to have a relaxing experience. Praying to Hashem is not a relaxing, it's something high voltage, it's high intensity. It's la'avdoi b'chol levavchem. Prayer is something that's supposed to come out of the mouth, but it's not supposed to originate in the mouth. It's supposed to originate in the heart. In the heart and in the brain, a person's supposed to concentrate, pull together their brain and their heart and their entire body. David HaMelech says, Kol atzmoisai toimarno Hashem mikamocha. That when I would praise Hashem, my fingers, every part of me was focused. We know those that study science, biology, we know that there are nerves that go throughout the body. When a person steps on your toe, you feel it. So we know the toe is not just flesh and blood. The toe is connected to the brain. The toe is connected to the heart. Every part of the body is plugged in, and when a person is speaking to Hashem, we're supposed to try to pull together our entire self and bring it out from the mouth. That's